All right, getting involved with the community site, Discord. Now that you know who we are and what we're doing and why we're doing it a little bit, how do we take next steps? Well, check out the community site is a great resource. So if you go to the main website right here, which is this URL, helloaolab.my.canva.site. We're using a free Canva domain. Didn't pay a dime for this because we're a nonprofit, so that's why we're using that domain. But if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see there's the community site right here in the middle. Other ways to get here as well. But in essence, the community site is a place to do all sorts of stuff, and hopefully there's something for you here. You can always start in the new Start Here section under the Orientation tab, and you can learn about AO.bot, which is our main website for creating things. You can join the Discord community here. Just click here and then join it. I will give you an orientation to that in a second, and then there's an FAQ. If there is a question that you have that we're missing, or if there's something on this site we could improve or add to help to help you get involved, please let us know. We'll try to make those resources better for you. If you are a developer specifically, definitely check out the developer page and look at the 7 steps to jumping in. For sure, check out the guides and tutorials section. There's a lot there. And if you are a Bible nerd or just a creative person, there are other resources for you here. If you have any passion to see biblical content made, there is a way for you to get involved. You can submit designs if you're a designer. You can design experiences, 2D or 3D or otherwise. You can research, if you're a Bible nerd, ways to incorporate biblical lessons or teaching into the Bible with interactive content, with quizzes. There are a ton of resources out there on the Bible, but those resources are not free use. They're not publicly available, and we can't just take them and use them and incorporate them. So if you love the Bible, help us find resources that we can use and give away freely with no requirements, or help us make them or donate them if you have them. There are lots of ways to get involved. I want to talk about one thing on that topic. Down here we have this little page called Why We Love the BSB. The BSB is the Berean Study Bible here, Standard Bible here on the website, I guess it's called, the Berean Standard Bible. The BSB is a translation of the Bible that makes everything we do possible. If it were not for this, we would not be where we are at today, because they made a whole translation of the Bible, and then they made that translation public domain. They gave it away to everyone, no restrictions, no copyright, nothing. And the reason they did that is because they are the members of that are the same ones behind Bible Hub, and they experienced firsthand the difficulty that comes with maintaining all the licenses to all these different translations and renewing licenses and having to ask publishers for permission and dealing with limited usage restrictions. There's so many complexities that come with that are a huge barrier and a huge hindrance to those who just want to use the Bible, which is why we have to just give it away unlimited use to remove those restrictions and not stand before God on the judgment day and say, God, we didn't let people use your scriptures because we weren't sure how they might use them. And Jesus is not going to look upon that favorably in my estimation. I'll let you work that out yourself. But if you come down here on the Berean Study Bible, actually let me say one more thing here. The BSB is more of a thought for thought than word for word, but it's a high quality translation. I would say on par with the NIV or ESV. But they do have literal and interlinear versions available. And if you come down here and click on the web tools here and then click on their API, they have a whole API to help you use the Bible. And I know they have it because we made it. We had to make this API and take the BSB text and make it accessible with a JSON API so that then we could turn around and create all of the tools that you'll see that you have already seen me use in this playlist, but another tools that you'll see us use in the future. We're using the BSB because it's unlimited use. Let me take a moment to talk about our API while we're here. Our API is going to be expanded in the future, but it is an unlimited, unrestricted use API where everything that's in this API can be used without any question or wondering from you as to, hey, do I have to ask permission? Do I have to restrict how it's used? No, our API is designed to be a place where you can find all of those resources. The BSB, just so we can see how difficult it is to use other translations here, is the most permissive Bible translation available. This website, copy.church, which is run by John, who's a friend, copy.church here lists the BSB as the most permissive, but you can see and compare how restrictive the NIV, the ESV are by comparison. You can see there's all these restrictions here that come with these other translations. John, behind copy.church, and myself, after about a year and a half of petitioning the BSB to make the Bible public domain, they did go ahead and do that. It took a long time to convince them to do it, but they did it. And you, likewise, if you have resources, you can do it too. That is one of many reasons we love the BSB and why you should as well. So, the BSB is a free resource that we're using in all of our Bible experiences for English. But the other portion of the BSB that is amazing is because this Bible translation is public domain. That means we can use it for AI-generated content, we can use it for translation, we can use it for all sorts of other services that are just free, unrestricted, no permission required. That's the kind of stuff that we need out there. All right, I rambled about that for a bit. Sorry, I just got excited. I hope that wasn't too bad. So check out the community site. Think and ponder on the sacrifice those who have come before us have made to get to where we are. Think about all the monks, all the scribes, all the nameless, anonymous contributors to the scriptures that made what we have possible, that we'll never know who they are until we get to the new creation. So too, we, you and I, should create resources and give them away without demanding anyone thank us in return. We should let our thanks and our praise come from God. I hope I've beaten that drum loud enough. So the next few videos in this playlist are going to be more technical. We're going to get into AO.bot. We're going to get into our authoring environment. We're going to talk about tools and design principles. If you are not a developer or a creator or designer, you can skip these next videos and maybe just stop here after I finish going through a few more things. But I would encourage you to watch and listen and go through those videos in the playlist, because it will help you understand the capabilities, what's possible, and even if you don't remember or learn everything that you'll see in these next couple of videos, it will help you to see the possibilities. So I'd encourage you to stick with it. But if you are going to take a detour or take a junction off the path here, let me say a few more things. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so your donation is incredibly valuable. If you're considering making one, you can do so here. Go to the community site and then click on the donate button. And there's ways to do that. You can give through GiveButter here, which is a service that we use. It doesn't have any fee whatsoever. There's an optional tip that you can add, but you can just click other and then add 0. So you can literally choose to give them nothing and give us all of the donation minus a processing fee, or depending upon what method you're using, you can avoid that as well. So you can donate, and if you do donate, that money is being used purely for these purposes that we've been discussing here. Long term, it would be amazing if I or others in the team could devote full-time effort to this. But right now, it's just about covering expenses. It's just about making resources available. And if you go to the main site, as I covered before, our finances are public right here. And if you have questions, you can always reach out. With that, I would just like to throw one more thing out there. Our organization, our ministry is very small, very young, and so if there are ways that you could help us improve our organization, even if it's not creating content for the Bible or being a developer, if there are ways that you have a skill that you can help us, please reach out. If you want to help make social media content, if you want to help us find new partners, help us find donation and funding, if you want to help us with merchandise, if you want to help with anything that you may be good at that you can help an organization with, we probably need it, and we would love your help in figuring out what that can look like. So please know, as I've mentioned before, you are part of the family, and we would love to work with you on whatever God would place upon your heart. All right. With that, we'll get into the AO.bot technical sides next. But lastly, we're going to sign off with a quick tour of the Discord channel here. So here we are in the Discord community. In the very, very top, you see this section called the Community Lab, and most of the work happens right here in this channel that I'm highlighting with my cursor called AO Lab. And this is where you can hop in, you can ask questions, beginner-friendly questions are fine, and you can simply provide, you can see the progress that we're making in real time and provide feedback, provide insight, whatever you have to offer, you can do that right here. Currently how this works is that whoever's working in the lab, they will typically create a video and then share a link to whatever they're working on. You can watch the video, you can access the link, and you can play with it yourself in a lot of cases. And then you'll see me respond and provide feedback and guidance. I'm currently the one providing direct project management for everything that we do. I would love that to not be the case in the future, but for now it's just what's necessary as we get our footing, as it were. We also have a showcase channel, which doesn't have too much in it just yet, but there are places to show off stuff that's being worked on. Dev questions, art questions, Bible talk, which is empty currently, but if you want to talk theology, ask questions, or suggest biblical content, this is a great place for that. AO Overflow is a place to ask technical questions if you get stuck, if you want to try and learn something, but you feel blocked, ask those questions here. And that's mostly what's needed. Feel free to make any introductions to yourself if you join the channel, and add random and share other stuff. There's just all sorts of weird things that you can do, but it's a friendly and engaging community that would love you to join it, and I speak for all of us when I say that. All right. Thank you so much. God bless. See you in the lab.